I think Goodreads and I need to have some words. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brie and this is 4 Paws in a Book. Today I'm going to talk about 10 books that have really low ratings on Goodreads that are on my TBR and I think I'm still going to love. It's a well-known fact that Goodreads ratings are completely arbitrary, and especially with the smaller indie pub presses, one rating can really affect your average. And so I always take Goodreads ratings with a grain of salt. I don't necessarily put a lot of trust or faith in them. If you think that this video is a little bit random and you're like, what is she doing? Don't worry, I have a method to my madness. I am hosting the Amazing Readathon in June. That is the Amazing Race inspired readathon that I do every summer, and this time we are going to some fictional worlds. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then I will leave my announcement video up in the cards above. You should definitely check it out. We're going to have a ton of fun. But this year I gave out the prompts. I didn't tell you where we were going. I didn't tell you what order we were doing them in, but I did give you the prompts. And one of the prompts for one of the locations is that it was a book that had low ratings, but you still think you're gonna like. Now, that's a pretty vague statement. You can use whatever you want for that. Like if you don't read anything below, say, a 4, maybe a 3.9 is low rating for you. Personally, for me, I'm going to be using anything that is below a 3.5, as that is what is kind of like the official cutoff for the Goodreads Choice Awards. It's a completely conceptual number. You do whatever you want, but that's just what I'm going to use for my personal cutoff. And I have 10 books on my want to read that I think I'm still going to love, or at least very much enjoy, and they have below a 3.5, which is just really sad. So we're going to talk about them. So we're going to start from the lowest rated and go all the way up to that 3.5 mark. So the first one we have is The Last Session by Julia Bartz, and it has a 3.02 rating with over 2,000 ratings. So that's really low, especially for an author that is pretty well known. I read The Writing Retreat by her last year and really had a good time with it. I do think that her writing is a little bit off the wall, a little bit bonkers, and the plot twist kind of comes out of left field. And so there are some people that like don't appreciate that in a thriller, and so that could attribute to the low rating for this one as well. I don't know a lot about this one, but I kind of want to go in blind. I had so much fun with The Writing Retreat, but that one was pretty polarizing as well. A lot of people really loved it, a lot of people really hated it. So maybe that's what this is, and I will also land in that camp that I'll love it. This says it's a white-knuckled, locked room thriller about a social worker who, after coming face to face with her dark past, must infiltrate a mysterious wellness center in the deserts of New Mexico. When a catatonic woman shows up at the psychiatric unit, social worker Thea swears she knows her from somewhere. She's shocked to discover the patient holds a link to a traumatic time in her past. Upon regaining lucidity, the patient claims she can't remember the horrific recent events that caused her brain to shut down. This is honestly, it's giving like Silent Patient a little bit. I love a good psychological thriller, and so this one actually sounds like it's gonna work for me. Next up is one that I do own, and that is Hot Under His Collar by Andy J. Christopher. This is a steamy contemporary romance with a priest. You know how I feel about that, and I think I'm gonna love this one. I listened to her on a panel at Steamy Lit last year and had so much fun that I bought her book at the convention, and that's what this is. It has a 3.22 rating with over 2,600 ratings. So again, pretty low rating, and I don't know why. He's forbidden fruit and she's a rule follower, but their connection is something to believe in. Love that. Father Patrick Julie joined the clergy to fulfill his mother's dying wish. While it once gave him purpose, he's not so sure it's his calling anymore. Sasha Finnerly was content to admire Patrick from afar while she dated men who were perfect on paper and wrong in real life. But with Patrick's church in need of funding to keep a community program afloat, she's just the girl to solve their fundraising problems. Spending more time together only fuels Sasha's crush on him, who finds a kindred soul in her. So it's going to be like a forbidden romance. We love that. We love that. Why don't people love this? I don't understand. Am I looking at the reviews? No, I'm not, because I still think I'm gonna love this. Next up, we have The Terraformers by Anna Louise Newitz. This is kind of like a dystopian story, and those can be hit or miss for me, but when they hit, they really, really hit. This one is sitting at a 3.34 with a little over 6,700 ratings, so still a pretty good number. I don't know why this one isn't working for people. This is one that I actually wanted to read last year during Amazing Readathon, but I was not on Team Sci-Fi when the prompt that this would have worked for. So I didn't end up reading it, and it sat on my shelf for a year. From science fiction visionary Anna Louise Newitz comes The Terraformers, an uplifting and illuminating exploration of the future. I have said time and time again that I really enjoy a good dystopian, especially like a post-apocalyptic one, because the author can use a lot of creative freedom with like how they think the world is going to end, or how the world is going to act, how society is going to act after normal modern world ends. Destri's life is dedicated to terraforming Sask-E. As part of an environmental rescue team, she cares for the planet and its burgeoning ecosystems as her parents and their parents did before her. But the bright clean future they're building comes under threat when Destry discovers a city full of people that shouldn't exist, hidden inside a massive volcano. It's kind of giving like Red Rising, honestly, but like from the other perspective. As she uncovers more about the past, Destry begins to question the mission she's devoted her life to and must make a choice that will reverberate through Sask-E's future for generations to come. This sounds like it's very political in nature, very interesting, and again, I think I'm gonna love it. This is also a queer author, and so we'll get some bonus points for it. Another contemporary romance that has a low rating and I think I'm gonna love is Can't Resist Her by Kiana Alexander. This is another one that I got at Steamy Lit last year, and it is a sapphic contemporary romance, which again, more bonus points for June. It has a 3.35 average rating with a little over 1,600 ratings, so it's pretty underrepresented, I guess. Maybe that's just it. Maybe more people need to read this book. This is an opposites attract relationship, which I absolutely love. I think that banter in a contemporary romance is so much fun. After years away from home, Summer Graves is back in Austin, Texas to accept a new teaching position. Of all the changes to the old neighborhood, the most dispiriting one is the slated demolition of the high school her grandmother founded. There's no way that she can let developers destroy her memories and her family legacy, but the challenge stirs up memories of another kind. On the architectural team revitalizing the neighborhood is hometown girl Aiko Holt, and she's all about progress. Then she sees Summer again. Some things never change. Neither can forget the kiss they shared at their senior year dance. Neither can back down from her unwavering belief about what's right for the neighborhood. So it is a little bit of a second chance romance, which like sometimes is hit or miss. However, this one feels like it's second chance in that they just kind of like went their separate ways as adults as they grew up. And those ones are usually fine. I don't know. I think I'm gonna love this one. All right, next one up. I have heard some mixed things about it, but there's definitely some buzzwords for me, and that is The Starlight Heir by Amali Howard. This has a 3.36 rating with about 4,800 ratings. It was the Fairy Loot exclusive edition for Romantasy, so I do have this like really pretty special edition with sprayed edges. So like maybe that's why I have a fondness for it, because it is just absolutely stunning. But it's a very political Romantasy, and that is a big buzzword for me. A bladesmith blessed by the stars, a prince with a dangerous secret, a god bound in the shadows. From best-selling author Amali Howard comes a scorching new Romantasy that will leave you spellbound. To save the realm from eternal darkness, she'll have to choose between the truth and the lie, stand and fight, or kneel and die. Honestly, this has like every type of buzzword that I love, so I don't know why people don't like this one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It is a little bit short, so that could be like a, you know, maybe a sticking point for some people, is that they don't think that it's expanded upon enough. I think it's gonna be a vibe. The next one that I have on my TBR that I'm very interested in is Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman. I have not read from Clay McLeod Chapman before, but I know people that have. I know people that have really loved their other books. I just haven't seen many people review this one, but it is a social commentary on what is going on today, but make it horror. It has a 3.38 with almost 6,500 ratings as of filming this. A relentless and emotionally charged social horror novel about a family on the run from a demonic possession epidemic that sparks through media. It's for the fans of Last of Us, which was a show that I really, really enjoyed. Noah Fairchild has been losing his formerly polite Southern parents to far-right cable news for years. So when his mother leaves him a voicemail warning him that the great reawakening is here, he assumes it's related to one of the many conspiracy theories she believes in. But when his phone calls go unanswered, Noah makes the long drive from Brooklyn to Richmond, Virginia. There he discovers his childhood home in shambles, a fridge full of spoiled food, and his parents are locked in a terrifying trance-like state in front of the TV. Like, if this isn't a commentary on Fox News, I don't know what it is. Families across the country are tearing each other apart, literally. So it's kind of like zombie, make it, you know, Fox News, but make it zombies. I love this, honestly. Like, this is going to be so poignant, and maybe that's why there's such a low rating, is because some people maybe got triggered. This ambitious, searing novel from one of horror's modern masters holds a mirror to our divided nation and will shake readers to the core. Sign me up, say less. Then we have The Z Word by Lindsay King Miller, another zombie horror social commentary. This is actually a book that was making the rounds last year during Amazing Readathon, and that's why I put it on my list of books that I wanted to read. The Z Word is a queer zombie land you didn't know you needed. Chaotic bisexual Wendy is trying to find her place in the queer community of San Lorenzo, Arizona, after a bad breakup, which is particularly difficult because her ex is hooking up with some of her friends. And when the people around them start turning into violent, terrifying, mindless husks, well, that makes things harder, especially since the infection seems to be spreading. Now Wendy and her friends and frenemies, drag queen Logan, Silver Fox Beau, sword lesbian Aurelia, and her wife Sam, mysterious delivery driver Stoner Sunshine, and oh yeah, Wendy's ex-girlfriend Leah, have to team up to stay alive, save Pride, and track the zombie outbreak to its shocking source. I don't know about you, but this sounds pretty great. It sounds like it's gonna be like a quirky, fun time, and like maybe that's the reason for the low rating. It has a 3.4 with 2,300 ratings, so definitely on the like lower end of the rating number, but I think it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be like kind of satire, whereas I think Wake Up and Open Your Eyes might be a little bit more serious. Next up is a brand new release, so this also could account for some of the lower ratings just because there's just not a lot of them yet. But we have My Best Friend's Honeymoon by Meryl Wilsner. This has a 3.4 with 1,700 ratings. Now, Clean Cute, which was Meryl Wilsner's last book, was one of my favorite books of all time. It has wonderful mental health representation, it has wonderful queer representation, and Meryl Wilsner is such a joy to talk to be around. I got to meet them at Steamy Lit last year, told them, I was like, just so you know, I don't cry in books, and Clean Cute made me cry. This is a spicy female non-binary romance, which is representation that you just don't see just in books in general, but right now, you know, and specifically in contemporary romance. And this is a like best friends to lovers kind of thing where the friends go on this non-refundable honeymoon because the wedding kind of fell apart, and they're gonna, you know, find out that they have feelings for each other. And this one just sounds like it's going to be such a perfect palate cleanser for Pride Month. I'm very excited about this one. Then we have another one that I own. We have This Ravenous Fate by Haley Dennings. This one has a 3.41 average with a little over 3,100 ratings. And this one was pretty much a cover buy. I'm gonna 100% like tell you that right now. At night in Harlem, the jazz clubs come to life and death waits in the dark. So it is historical fantasy, but a lot of the early reviews were very positive, and so it went onto my TBR. It's 1926 and reapers are growing stronger everywhere. Created centuries ago by cruel medical experiments, these once human vampires are driven to attack without mercy. Those who protect the city from them hold more power than even the organized criminals who run the nightclubs. As a reluctant heir to her father's reaper hunting empire, Elise Saint knows that the Harlem Reapers want her dead. Among them is Layla Quinn, who lost her parents, the protection of the Saints, and her humanity. And she'll never forget how Elise Saint betrayed her. A wave of mysterious killings shocks the city, forcing Elise and Layla to work together. So I think this is queer. Goodreads, are you trying to tell me something? I'm seeing a pattern here. I'm seeing a lot of queer books on these low-rated reviews. I'm just saying. Might not be causation, but there's definitely some correlation there. A blood-soaked tale of ancestral rage, forbidden love, and dangerous magic with a richly imagined setting as alive as any character. I don't know about you, but this one sounds like such an aesthetic, such a mood. The last one I'm going to talk about has the highest rating in terms of these 10, but it also has the fewest number of ratings, so I don't know what that says, but it is another queer book, so I also don't know what that says. But we have The Hells of Notre Dame by R.L. Davenor. This is a book that I was going to try to read last year during Amazing Readathon, and it was on one of the polls, but it didn't win, so it didn't end up getting read. But it is a absolutely stunning, gorgeous edition. And this is a sapphic Hunchback of Notre Dame retelling. Say less, honestly. It has a 3.44 average rating with only 575 ratings. So we definitely need to see that get bumped up. One night was all it took. I should have stayed away. I should have thrown away her scarf, banished Esmeralda from my mind, body, and soul, and never thought or spoke of her again. That would have been the best thing, the right thing. But our Lord works in mysterious ways, and before I knew it, the walls of Notre Dame became her prison, as much as they are my sanctuary. And with temptation front and center, neither of us have the strength to resist. Our days become longing glances and coded whispers, our nights stolen kisses and caresses. On borrowed time, because we both know the inescapable truth. Our love can only end as it began, in fire. But as each day passes, and the more I fall under her spell, eternal damnation seems a small price to pay. I don't think I need to say anything else. I really don't. I don't think I need to. This sounds amazing. Why haven't I read this yet? This one's gonna happen in June, okay? It's a very over-the-top cover, I think. You know, there's a few things that could work for this. I'm gonna have to read this. All right, so those are 10 books that I think I'm going to love. Those are 10 books that have low ratings, but I think I'm gonna disagree with Goodreads here. What is a book on your TBR that you think Goodreads got wrong and that you think you're still going to love despite its low ratings? And if you just want to say that you were here, if you're not feeling chatty, then let's do a purple emoji. Something purple, I don't know. If you are interested in the Amazing Readathon, I'm gonna put the announcement video right here for you. Go ahead and check that out. It is not too late to join. We will begin the race on June 1st. However, if you are watching this after June 1st, don't worry, you can still join late. That is all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button in the video down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!